Today, we look at the 850 new homes in Edinburgh and the effects it has on the community.
We'll also look at the recent investigation on Seymour's immigration policies.
All that and more on Torch TV. Hello and welcome back to today's Torch TV. I'm your host, Mason Bean, and today I'm joined by Wyatt Ayers. Wyatt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, Mason, especially since we have Thanksgiving break coming up. Are you doing anything special for the holiday?
Not really, I'm just going to spend time with family. Now let's hop into a few short announcements. This Wednesday is the first day of our Thanksgiving break, so enjoy 3 extra days off. Seniors, the FAFSA application window has now opened. To apply, you and your guardian must create an FSA ID at studentaid.gov. Then you'll be able to apply to FAFSA. For more questions, see your team office or follow the link on Student Square. If you want to support our East Choir and get a sweet treat, you can stop by the booth by the bookstore during both lunches. Everything is $2.
Edinburgh is preparing their town for a massive housing expansion. In September, Town Council unanimously approved a proposal to add 850 homes on nearly 300 acres of land. While there are concerns, this proposal has seen major support throughout the community.
With a town population a little over 4,000 residents, people within the community are very enthusiastic to finally see growth.
I'm super excited about that. It's going to add much needed housing as far as like the size of housing and the pricing that really I think is going to be beneficial for people of Edinburgh.
We are all excited about the housing expansion. It's really going to increase our rooftops is how we get paid by property taxes by 40%. So it's going to be a wonderful addition for the school.
Edinburgh, being a small town, are heavily reliant on their small businesses. The expansion allows a sense of hope for small business owners.
I mean, the more people that comes to the town, the bigger the town gets, the more opportunity you have for growth in business.
I think that the 850 houses that are coming are going to bring new businesses also, especially along the 31 corridor, because that is slated for business. So we're going to have more businesses.
Along with a small town comes a small school. The expansion could cause worry for the size of the school, but Edinburgh staff is not concerned.
I don't think we'll have to in the near future. This building was built in, 1970, something like that, and it was made for more kids.
I think our schools will have plenty of space because in the past we've had up to 1,000 students and we're down about 250 of those, so I'm not worried about the schools.
People are always cautious of change, but early preparations are eliminating those concerns.
I think might be concerning is to make sure that our emergency services, the school system itself, that everybody's prepared for the growth to make sure that we can accommodate that.
I know many people are concerned about change and don't like change. I'm right there with you. I don't like change. But I think sometimes having an addition will give us opportunities to do things that a bigger school might be able to do that we can't always do.
Outside of all the worries and concerns that people may have, generally the public believes it'll benefit the town and make Edinburgh a home for many people.
I think it's going to be huge. I mean, it'll be huge for everything in this town. It'll be huge for the sports in the program, like the host sports program in the town. It'll be huge for the small businesses to grow, because right now it's kind of locked and we're never going to get any bigger if we don't do it. So I like it.
You know, people wanting to call Edinburgh their home, I think that's an exciting thing.
Construction on the project will begin in early 2026 as the town of Edinburgh prepares by setting up utilities such as electricity and sewage ahead of time. And now we head over to Marley Oaks with this week's weather forecast.
Thanks, Wyatt. Looks like there's a 10% chance of white Thanksgiving because it may begin snowing early in the morning with a high of 42 and a low of 24 this Thursday. Coming up this weekend, it clears up a bit on Friday, being mostly sunny with a high of 33 and a low of 17. Saturday being partly sunny with a high of 32 and a low of 17 with a 20% chance of snow. And Sunday, it'll be sunny with a high of 29 and a low of 14. Looks like it's time to bring out those coats and hot chocolate because the weather is starting to get colder as winter comes in. That's it for Thanksgiving weekend forecast. Back to you at the desk.
After the break, we'll go to our C4 nursing students with a new edition of the Medical Minute.
We'll also take a look into an ongoing investigation in Seymour regarding immigration policies.
All these stories and more to come on today's Torch TV.
You remember me talking to you about a final project? Yeah. Here it is, and if you don't complete it, you will not pass my class. He's not gonna do it. How you doing?
Hey.
You feeling better?
I was never sick. I'm a little better.
Are you?
Still, never sick.
Did you get that project done?
No.
Just not feeling great. You know, I don't have any choice. Yep, I failed him.
I'm sick.
We bring breaking news, Olympians.
The deadly and highly contagious influenza is on the loose and it's coming after you.
My name is Endergly Exilian.
And I am Maya Dotson coming from our East Media studio.
Our topic for today will be influenza, commonly known as the flu.
Influenza is a highly contagious respiratory illness that typically affects the nose, the throat, and the lungs. Unfortunately, sometimes your whole body.
Right here in the U.S., approximately 9.3 to 41 million people yearly catch the flu, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC.
Oh yes, with the closing of last year's season, 2023 to 2024, with at least 34 million symptomatic people.
A reported estimate of 12,000 to 51,000 deaths yearly since 2010.
Yearly, the CDC reports 140,000 to 710,000 hospitalizations. So get your yearly shots, Olympians.
There are numerous myths about the flu vaccine, as there are numerous truths. How do we tell them apart? Well, we intend to debunk those myths from the truth for you.
First, the flu isn't that big of a deal, so I don't need to get the flu shot.
Myth. The flu is a big deal, and if not treated, could result in cardiac and pulmonary disease.
The flu vaccine still protects me, even if I catch the flu.
Truth. The vaccine will reduce the severity of the flu.
Washing my hands is more protective than getting the flu vaccine.
Myth. Although you should always wash your hands, the flu vaccine is the better choice in helping your immune system fight off the flu.
I got a flu vaccine last season, so I'm covered for this season.
Myth. The flu vaccine is a yearly subscription. You should always get a new vaccine for each new season.
People with severe life-threatening allergies to ingredients found in the vaccine or children under 6 months of age should not get the flu vaccine.
Truth. Getting the vaccine is a good way to protect yourself from the flu, but having underlying diseases or allergies may negatively impact your health or worse, kill you.
There are many more myths out there, especially on social media. So remember, unless the information is from a reliable source, such as the CDC, be wary of it.
Don't forget to get your flu vaccine every season to keep yourself and loved ones safe.
Recently, the state of Indiana launched an investigation into Seymour's immigration policies. Now I head over to East Media senior Lance Hubbard with more information.
Thanks, Wyatt. The state is looking into whether or not Seymour is a quote-unquote sanctuary city, meaning a city where local law enforcement does not report immigration status of local residents. Attorney General Todd Rokita stated, quote, "We are working to ensure units of local government are following the law. We are putting Hoosiers first, not illegal aliens."
They're not making any specific accusations. The Attorney General's office is just asking if the Seymour Police Department is in possession of information that might be of assistance in investigating whether SPD is in violation of state statutes relating to the state ban on sanctuary cities. My job as city attorney is to work with the city and its departments to ensure full compliance with this matter, and we look forward to doing that and to a resolution.
Seymour has seen a 174% population increase, and they are willing to cooperate with the state to find a resolution.
Lance, what other information have you gotten regarding the investigation?
I've been having emailed conversations with the state attorney general seeking more information, and the state has been saying that there have been ongoing concerns from community members and elected officials. Because of this, the state sent several investigative demands to the Seymour Police Department seeking whether immigration policies comply with state law.
What exactly is the state asking of Seymour?
So they're asking for information regarding the police department's immigration-related communications, cooperation, and enforcement policies.
What is the state going to do with that information?
If the documents produced show that the police department has unlawful immigration policies on the books, then the state will take action as warranted to ensure compliance with state law.
So it seems the situation's a little vague right now. Thanks, Lance.
The following content contains mentions of drug use among youth as we explore how drugs are affecting teen lives.
More than 20 adolescents die from drug abuse each week.
Even when I was addicted, I just didn't process that I was. I always thought I could just quit whenever, and I was wrong, very wrong.
I was going down a pretty dark path. I started with marijuana, and I experimented with other things. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, this is not who I want to be.
It has been proven that using drugs before the age of 17 can cause your brain to be smaller, as well as you being smaller in size.
It was really affecting my lungs and like how my mental health would be and a lot of other mental illnesses I suffered with.
A large majority of teens begin using drugs in order to help cope with issues at home or school, but drugs long-term will only increase someone's stress and depression.
If I was not under the influence, I would start to feel stressed and like really uncomfortable in social situations, and that's when I realized I needed to quit for the better of my friends and family.
It's a stressful time in your life or as a young person, a teenager, and adding drugs and alcohol to that, it might mask problems, but it doesn't fix problems long term.
Drug abuse can cause feelings of hopelessness as well as intense loneliness, which can make it really hard to quit.
Find something that you can use as a muse that is not drugs, because that will end in nothing but heartbreak and struggle.
When it comes to struggling with addiction, it's best to reach out to friends and family. Others say try to go to resources like call numbers and stuff, but it's better to go to friends and family with it because they understand the most.
And on my front door to my office is 988, is a good resource 24/7. You can call, text, chat, all that stuff with them. And it's there for anybody.
Help yourself to a brighter future. Don't be a statistic.
Abusing drugs at any age, but especially as a teen, can be detrimental to your life. Be sure to make decisions on the subject wisely. With the Seymour investigation going on, let's take a wider look at news going on within the United States. Leah Cloud has more.
Thanks, Mason. In national news, the Menendez brothers, infamous for slaying their parents in August of 1989, have been trying to fight their original sentencing, life without the possibility of parole. The brothers are fighting for a sentence of 50 years to life, so they can be eligible for parole now since they have already served 35 years. Famous District Attorney George Gason has supported the reducing of the brothers' sentence. Gason has acknowledged that the brothers' crimes were brutal and premeditated, but he argues, saying that they have been model prisoners and have paid their debt to society. On the state level, in Carmel, the KKK placed flyers around the city. The flyers encourage the deportation of illegal immigrants and the number for the U.S. Department of Immigration. They also gave the number to a channel of KKK members in Kentucky. The police have made their statement saying that they don't see anything illegal with what they've done. That's all for news. Back to you, Wyatt.
Coming up, we dive into the criminal justice C4 pathway and how they're keeping Columbus safe.
We also break down last weekend's top 5 matchup between Indiana and Ohio State live on our sports set.
Stay tuned in for all that and more on Torch TV.
Be a non-aggressive driver. Pulling out in front of people, going the wrong way, and not using your turn signals are all examples of aggressive driving. Allow everyone the safety they deserve in the parking lot. Be sure to park in spots designated for students. Do not park in staff spots or handicap spots. We all want a good parking spot, but we need to ensure the safety and accessibility of everyone. Be aware of your surroundings. Be sure not to hit curbs or other cars for your own safety and your car's. Make sure to watch out for students walking to school. Don't run over pedestrians. They always have the right of way, no matter how slow you think they're walking.
Learning the law isn't just about textbooks, it's about real-world experience. Last month, criminal justice students stepped into the shoes of law enforcement, practicing traffic stops and more.
CEHS offers many different C4 opportunities, one of them being criminal justice. Over the years, students have taken this class to pursue a variety of different goals.
I took this class because initially I wanted to be a lawyer and I wanted to learn all more about the law and all that stuff.
I'm taking this class because I want to become a law enforcement officer.
I'm taking this because it looked fun and I get to learn about criminal stuff.
As students go through the program, some change their career path and go something else after they graduate, whereas others may stay with the same initiative they had in the beginning.
The reason why I came out and decided to help with the C4 program law enforcement is back in 2003 and 2004, I was a member of this, and so it's great that I can come back and teach the children that want to learn about law enforcement and how great of a career it is.
Officers from surrounding counties want to help students learn about their criminal justice system even more. And as the years continue, they all choose to come out and teach the students the same way others had taught them.
My favorite part of helping out is that I get to teach kids, and I'm able to see their willingness and eager to learn what I enjoy as my profession.
When trying to pursue a career in any field with having to make contact with other people, communication is an extensive deciding factor.
Communicating with someone who doesn't speak English was really difficult. I couldn't get to them and I kept repeating and hoping they would just listen, and it's really hard. But eventually I just had to show them hand signals, and that was really hard for me to deal with because I've never been through a situation like that, and it's definitely keeping me on my toes.
Programs like this aren't just about teaching students the law, but the critical thinking and communication skills that come with enforcing it. A valuable experience for the next generation of leaders.
Now we head over to East Media's Luke Fowler with the most recent in sports.
Thanks, Mason. In sports this week, girls basketball has a home game versus Brownstown Central tonight, with JV starting at 6 and varsity to follow. Boys basketball opens this season tomorrow night, hosting Whiteland Community, with the freshman team starting at 5, JV at 6, and varsity to follow. Now on to sports on the collegiate level. Last weekend, the 5th-ranked Indiana Hoosiers competed against the number 2-ranked Ohio State in their first ever top 5 matchup in school history. Indiana, who hadn't beaten Ohio State since 1988, lost 38-15 as they were unable to slow down the Buckeyes' offense. Led by first-year head coach Kurt Signetti, before this game the Hoosiers had been on a tear this year with an undefeated record of 10-0. Now at 10-1, IU has fallen down to number 10 in the rankings. Despite the loss, they are still looking likely to make the playoffs. Back to local sports. Come out and support your Olympian athletes. That's all for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
That's all we have for today. From me, Marley, Luke, Leah, and the rest of the Torch TV crew, thanks for watching. I'm Mason Bean.
And I'm Wyatt Ayers. Remember to take care of yourself, others, and the place. And as always, try to be the best part of someone's day.